Welcome, folks, to Wrestling Rewind here on the JEFF MEACHAM Network. That was the creeper stare from your champion, Greg Cherry. And yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yes. And by the way, if you want to buy the awesome York-inspired shirt, teespring.com/store/Greg Cherry brand.
I'll have to put it up there then because it's not up there. But
well, then I will just pretend I didn't say that, and you can buy his other shirts because they're awesome. So, and if you want that shirt and think my promotional value is worth, then go ahead and ask Greg, hey, can I have that shirt?
Sure, pay for it.
Pay for it. And quite honestly, I'm trying to shill and be happy-go-lucky because we're about to watch an abortion. It's just bad.
Not an actual one.
No, because we're not Chandler and Monica watching a birth video because that would be horribly catastrophic. No, I decided. There you go. One of the classic moments of the show was that whole episode, just craziness. I decided yesterday, as we were, I announced this yesterday on Undertaker Old School, which, by the way, thank you all for watching yesterday. I was amazed at how much that got a response. I was genuinely surprised, to be honest with you, because I thought, it's just going to be, Jeff talking about Undertaker, and, people are like, well, they know the Undertaker, so it worked out. So we'll soldier on. However, it will not be the gentleman next to me every single week. We're gonna rotate in co-host because people just love the dead man. So we're gonna get everybody's gonna get their shit in. So there we go. I decided in the course of mapping out this week that yesterday I mentioned was Ed Leslie's birthday, and of course Ed Leslie, as we all know, is Brutus the fucking Barber Beefcake. He was cutting and strutting. However, when he came to WCW, he was still Hulk Hogan's best friend, and they were calling him Brother Brudi, which, is so vainly concealed reference to Brutus Beefcake. Good job, WCW. Well played. So it was decided that once the Flair with feud with Flair played itself out, we would get this. So this is the first and only time you're going to see Ed Leslie in a singles match in a pay-per-view main event. Again, I'm sorry. However, it does give me a chance to bring out this relic of a shirt that I bought at the Nitro Grill in Las Vegas.
Wow.
Matter of fact, Nitro Grill logo.
With the terrible WCW logo.
As the Eric Bischoff podcast has dubbed it, the exploding vagina logo. So I'm just messing with Greg's poor little head this week between asking
between how you closed the show yesterday and that.
Everybody. That's it. Greg's gonna have me on WCC just to kill me again, just to make me stop talking at this point. So,
well, you need to watch some Sesame Street to learn how to count. So there's that.
Yes, that's right. Hey, and to be fair on that, WCW 5.5 years after this produced the Sesame Street death match between Ahmed Johnson and Booker T. So, and if you guys know,
if you make us watch that. Actually, I don't know if I've ever seen that. Quite frankly, I saw their Super Bowl match, and quite frankly, that was enough.
Right. Yeah, literally. For those of you that are like, huh? There was a match that Stevie Ray and Booker T broke up again because that's what they do. And Stevie brought in Ahmed Johnson, who became Big T, to form Harlem Heat 2000. And their match between Ahmed and Booker was over the letter T. So it's now affectionately called the Sesame Street Death Match by people like me and Conrad Thompson, and it's just classic shit. It's such good shit. The match itself is worse than this, if you can believe it. But the comedy of the booking is just so WCW 2000. However, we're not there yet because we are just into Hulk Hogan's tenure in WCW, and I figured I would give you guys a chance to listen to good old Schiavone here and the Weasel introduce this match, and then they'll do a hype video. You guys know the history. If you don't know the history, I will give you the history in my own way with Greg along with me for the ride, because there is more history here than they detail, because there's 10 years before this when they're WWF together. So anyway, we are at 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 5 seconds of Starrcade 1994. Again, you guys have seen that on the bottom of your screen prior to this, but I wanted to verbalize it so that way you guys, in case you guys are just listening on Anchor, which, by the way, if you're listening on Anchor, God bless you, for the record. I appreciate you guys sticking with me because I don't really do a whole lot Anchor-wise except copy and paste at this point. So, but I appreciate it. So, 2 hours, 9 minutes, 5 seconds of Starrcade 94. You should see Tony with his look on his face like he's about to pass a stone, and Bobby has his left hand up going, please don't pass that stone next to me. Please don't do that. 3, 2, 1, play. So we're about set to go here for the main event. Yes, this is an actual Starrcade main event. The same Starrcade that hosted Flair Harley, Flair Dusty, Flair and Sting. And we're going to have Hulk Hogan versus Brutus the fucking Barber Beefcake in the main event. But you know what? To their credit and to Hulk's credit, you know, people crap on Hulk, and Lord knows I've been on the tail end of a lot of that shitstorm. You know, this is his best friend in the world. It really is. And, you know, they're showing the history of him in WCW with Hulk, but, you know, they were best friends in the 70s. Hulk knew Ed Leslie and brought Ed Leslie into wrestling. So you can blame Hulk for everything pretty much. But Hulk basically helped train Ed Leslie, and they became Terry and Ed Boulder brothers. So for a number of years, they thought they were really brothers. And they went to WWF, not at the same time. Hulk brought Ed in later, and here's where we're going to see. Now, this masked man is not Ed Leslie. That masked man actually is Arn Anderson. I don't know how far in advance they knew they were going to go with Brutus being the guy, but at that time they had Arn Anderson being the masked assailant that attacked Hulk at the Clash. So they were in WWF together. They feuded actually when Brutus was the actual Beefcake, like the Chippendales guy.
Yeah.
And when he became the Barber, shortly after that, the babyface turn came, and he became part of the Megamaniacs with Hulk a couple different times on pay-per-view. And again, there's Arn there. But, you know, you can totally tell it's Arn. That left-hand punch is Arn fucking Anderson in a nutshell right there. Yeah. I like this part here. Hulk's, you know, telling Gene here, basically, you know, get your ducks in a row here, and you know, why don't you go stick the microphone in Flair's face instead of mine for once? And Gene's like, hey, man. So, but yeah, this built all year because Hogan faced Flair at Bash at the Beach when he came in. They debut, won the title. The Clash was in August, where we saw the Masked Man assail Hulk for the first time, and this built and built and built. Because remember, there's no Nitro here. This is all WCW Saturday Night and the syndicated shows and the occasional Clash. Now look, there's the Masked Man, and there's Brother Brutus helping the cause. So, and again, there's the Masked Man, and I think who is that? Oh yeah, that's Dave Sullivan there on the apron. And yes, Dave Sullivan is the reason I knew wrestling was fake. I'll get to that momentarily. Scary Sherry's out there. Oh, here comes the mask. He's gonna pull them out. There's two of them. I'm pretty sure the second one is actually Ed Leslie. And here we are. This is Halloween Havoc. This is just after Hogan retired Flair. And they're in Detroit. And he's going to pull the mask off. And it's Brother Brutus. Oh, Hulkster is betrayed again. And there's Kevin. I swear I didn't do it. Leave me alone, Sullivan. And John Penta. Earthquake, Avalanche, Shark, whatever you want to call him this week. And see, so Brutus becomes the Butcher because he butchered the friendship between he and Hulk. So he's now the Butcher, and the dreaded Sleeper puts the world champion to the ground for the count. And we're going to see Elite Starrcade, and Starrcade again is in Nashville this year, in 1994, much like it was in 95. I think in 95, but definitely 96. never got a straight answer of why Nashville was chosen, other than it was a major southern city, and back in WCW was, the southern company. So, But here we go. We are at the Municipal Auditorium, Nashville, Starrcade, 1994, with the logo very much like Starrcade 1993, because they didn't want to. So I guess instead of strutting and cutting, he's stomping and chopping. Why he's doing a claw hole when he uses a sleeper, I don't know. He's not Jack Mulligan.
Yeah, he's not a Von Erich.
Yeah, no. No. At least one of them had talent. I'll let you guys decide which one and just make your heads explode in the background.
Shivani.
I'm not going to say my opinion.
Shivani. I'll wait till you finish your water.
Yeah.
The dick has been stacked against Hulk Hogan. Well, hopefully not.
Right? Hey, that's shirt I'm wearing. Look at that. I only ever had one actual licensed tearaway shirt, and it was the Hollywood Hogan shirt that now resides in my ex's closet. But I bought one from Hogan's Beach Shop. It's a t-shirt that fits me just fine, so it worked out. Here comes your favorite Hulk Hogan theme, Greg.
I don't mind this theme, actually.
I know you don't, but we were talking about that last week. It is still so. I don't know why it mind fucks me now, all these years later, but to see red and yellow Hulk with the big gold belt on, it's like. We said it yesterday for 1990, but here's 94. Jimmy Hart has not changed in the 4 years, and he still looks the same 26 years later. Yeah.
There's Nick Patrick. Little did he know he'd factor into the finish 3 years later.
That's it. Well, if they'd got their ducks in a row, he wouldn't have. If they convinced Earl to move on, they would have been a whole different scenario. I still say if Earl had jumped ship and they'd pulled that finish off the right way, it wouldn't have been the first blow.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been. But that botched finish was that little flick of that rock down the mountain. Now, granted, Bischoff will tell you, well, it really began when, I walked into a room with 15 people I'd never seen before. They were going to tell me how to run my company. I was like, well, yeah, but the fact that you botched that finish, 8 months before.
But this is the only time Buffer ever introduced Beefcake.
At least on purpose.
Yeah. Unless it was for like World War III or something.
Yeah, he may have done it when he walked out with Hogan as the disciple, as far as like in the company of the disciple.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yes, I'm not kidding. Brutus and his teeny weeny ponytail are in the main event of the pay-per-view. It's amazing how, like, a slight character change in Brutus, and he looks like 10 times crazier.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you look at 89 Brutus in the promo with Hulk at SummerSlam, he's got the wide eyes, he's got the googly eye like he does here, but he looks just like, fired up. He looks batshit here.
Yeah.
Buffer looking all young and tan. Good for him. Never got one of those bandanas either. I have a Hulk Hogan Python Power bandana up there. Almost wore it today.
But never the WCW one.
Not the WCW one. I actually have an NWO bandana on the way.
There you go. Courtesy
of the NWO collector box at www.shop.com. Buy it now. It's no, honestly, it is. That box looks fucking amazing. I can't wait to get it.
No, my reaction was to the fact that they're playing Hogan's music again.
Oh, well, that's because they know that you can't get enough of it, so they want to make sure you hear it twice. Yeah.
Hogan gets 2 entrances.
That's right. Well, because they're paying him for like 3/4 of his pay-per-view, so they want to make sure they get their money's worth.
Yeah.
I have one of those. Actually, no, I take that back. I have the one without the belt where he's going like this on the cover. Got it at the house show in October of '94 here in Anaheim. Oh yeah, the Sullivan story.
Yeah.
So at that house show, after the show, it's at the Anaheim Convention Center, which is just about a block and a half away from Disneyland. We are out in the waiting area, I guess, just kind of waiting to see who's going to come out and sign autographs or whatever, and do their thing. I've told parts of this story on other shows, so you may have heard, you may not have. 2 things happened that night that stick out in my mind so clearly. The first one was wrestler came by. He was walking to his car, and I didn't bring the poster of that guy that I had that poster of that guy, and I didn't bring it because I figured he'll never be worth anything. And sure enough, he walked by and was signing autographs, and Dad goes, "Sure about your poster?" I'm like, "Dad, he's a freaking mid-card guy. He's not gonna be worth anything." Sonny Steve Austin.
Nice.
Can you say eat ass? Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. A few minutes later, as we're waiting for Hulk and his entourage, Sting was over there talking with him. Here comes this car, and driving the car is Dave Sullivan, who was, I don't remember his real name, but he was playing Kevin Sullivan's brother, and he was the chief Hulkamaniac. He was with Hulk. He was, siding with Hulk against his brother or whatever. In Dave Sullivan's passenger seat is the opponent of the main event of the night. The main event was Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair. So Dave Sullivan, Hogan's corner man, is driving out Ric Flair.
Yeah.
I'm 10 and a half years old. I look at my dad and I go, the drive from Anaheim to Santa Clarita was the revelation talk. So now I knew.
Yeah.
So I blame Dave Sullivan for everything.
Evad.
Damn it, Evad. Can't blame Flair. He's greatest of all time. You can't blame Nate. Funny side note. Before we started the roll of this film, on Starrcade, they showed Jimmy Hart getting the Manager of the Year award from Pro Wrestling Illustrated from Bill Apter. And in Jimmy's acceptance speech, he said that, Hulkster, I'll be by your side forever. I'll be your friend for life. And ironically enough, Halloween Havoc 94 is when they outed Beefcake as the Butcher.
Yeah.
Halloween Havoc 95, Jimmy turns on Hulk. Halloween Havoc was not good to Hulk at all. Well, I'll figure it this way. 94, Beefcake turns on him. 95, Jimmy turns on him. 96, Piper comes back to wrestling. 97, he loses the cage match against Piper, but he and Savage tear Roddy apart. So that's kind of a 50-50.
98, he had the match against Warrior. 99, was that when he laid down the Sting? And then 2000, he wasn't with the company anymore. So
yeah. October generally not a good month for Hulk, because you remember 2003, he got laid up by Jeff Jarrett in Japan in October. So October's not Hogan's favorite month, even though he wears the 2 colors that make up orange. So
yeah,
it's a weird dynamic there. I almost wore my Michael Myers shirt yesterday for the Undertaker thing, because I figured he always said he based Undertaker off of the Michael Myers character as far as the stalking, the slow moving, but I couldn't find the shirts. So.
Kind of like how Razor Ramon was based off Scarface.
Yes.
That's a bad angle.
Yeah, I'm good on that. Thanks. I'm trying to figure out what the hell is on Beefcake's feet, like his boots. Is it his tape or?
I don't know.
It's hideous looking, whatever it is. It looks like they just took a pair of generic black pants and put tape in the butcher letters on the side of it.
Possible.
I get they wanted to move on from Flair, and you're going to see after this match where they go from here. But were they so poorly understaffed that they had to have Beefcake as the interim heel? Like, I always hear in interviews Hulk talks about that going off the gas and getting the tan and slimming up as far as his actual weight carry. He actually looks good and healthy here than he did in his big run. We mentioned this before on this show, but Hulk Hogan as a babyface was the most heel babyface I think ever.
Oh yeah,
biting and scratching and chopping. It's like, Jesus.
I still think him eliminating Sid should have been a heel turn for Hogan at 92 Rumble.
Oh yeah,
we've been over that
and
too.
Honestly, I think that if he wasn't on his way out, they may have executed that turn. But he was on his way out. They wanted him to go out in a heroic way, which, the botch finish didn't help in WrestleMania. Gotta love Brutus and Sid. Oh, wow, really? Karate Man, kick, right, guys.
Wax on, wax off.
Brother. That's right. I've got more than 5 moves in the June, brother. Speaking of brother, I need to show you at some point off air because you will pee your pants laughing. I don't need to have people watching you pee your pants. His promo at Super Brawl after this in 95.
Hogan's?
Yes. I shit you not, Greg, because we counted it the other day. At least 20 or 25 times he says the word brother in a 3-minute promo. It's on YouTube. It's good shit. It is fall in your chair, pee your pants, laughter. It's like I don't even know if he knew in the moment.
He might not. Is it kind of similar to Allen Iverson's practice interview thing?
Yes. Yeah, listening to it is one thing and watching it, but watching it and listening to Eric Bischoff and Conrad Thompson watch over it and Conrad just getting the shit fits in the headset is golden material. Like, it's one of the best 83 Weeks moments ever. By the way, I am glad I subscribed to their ad-free shows thing because getting the shows early, like, I can breeze through my weekend and get those shows in, and I got my stuff during the day where I can actually work during the week. Because as we found out last week on Rewind, this production stuff takes a while. But, don't steal copyrighted music, kids. It's a bad shame.
Yeah.
Oh, well. It worked out. The commercial turned out pretty well, so it's okay. And we'll run that at the end. We're going to run commercials at the end of the show. That's what we did last week. We'll run commercials at the end because it's a short show, so I don't want to chop it up. Pay-per-views, we'll do it in between because, it's just, break some monotony after a match or two. I don't know. I remember when Jimmy first started managing Hulk and Brutus, like, he wore actual, like, red and yellow. He would wear primarily red and yellow. I don't know what the orange purple thing is going on down there, but
who knows?
It's again, Jimmy Hart, only Jimmy Hart get away with that stuff, so more power to him. He's very much the walking cartoon character that he's always been called. And you know what? I will give him credit. When he turned on Hulk the following year, he wore primarily black, yes, but he also got a lot of colored stuff in there where it still was Jimmy Hart.
Yeah.
Here we go. The dreaded sleeper. Thing is, good thing for the Barber, because what's he gonna cut on Hulk's head?
Yeah.
But the
His
Butcher,
mustache.
The Butcher, however, can do some damage. Yeah, the mustache thing came in probably the following year because the Dungeons of Doom shaved his mustache off.
Mm-hmm. They're fighting the crowd or something?
Yes, actually,
probably better than this.
Yes. Yeah.
Beefcake in the main event.
Yeah, I want to go back and listen to the podcast with Eric and Conrad just to hear Eric defend this crap. It's so funny how, as you got your Hulk's 40-something here.
Yeah.
He looks younger here than he did at the end of his WWF run. I think.
Maybe it's the lighting or something.
Maybe, but like I said, he also went off the gas. He also, got himself in real shape.
Eddie. Oh.
Right, exactly. Okay. Yeah, okay. Time out here. Okay. Dumb heel moment. When Brutus covered him, he went like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was blatantly obvious.
Like, Brutus, you've been his friend for 20 years. What the fuck, Beefcake, really? No.
One of the stupidest things I ever saw in WCW, though, was Savage reviving Hogan by dropping an elbow on him in a tag match.
Oh, my God. That was one of those moments. Come on, John. Come on, John. It's okay. Although, to be fair, he had just worked Sting the match before, so he's probably still gassed as hell.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sullivan and Tenter are both dead, and Hogan still gets the freaking leg drop of doom in the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Thank God it's over. Holy cow. Oh, my God. But there is good stuff coming, I promise. So
I was going to say, there's another 15 minutes left of the show. So.
Well, once they leave the ring, it's just Vader confronting Hulk backstage, which you have to hear that. I really don't care.
Speaking of Savage,
here he comes. Is he going to slap Hulk in the face, or is he going to shake his hand? Sullivan's like, Earthquake, Savage, Brutus, Jimmy, Hulk. One of these things is, it's me. I don't belong here. I should be in Florida. It's 1985 again. Or 1990. Let's see, 90, Sullivan was in Florida, I think. He may have been WCW by then.
I respect you, Booker man.
Yeah. There's a guy that business misses. Bleh. Stupid heel.
And Lance Storm like chair shot by Hogan.
Oh, yeah, that was better. That was better.
Actually, Lance's were better.
Yeah. People gave me such static for picking out Lance Storm. I'm like, dude, I'm not the only one that's done that in 30 years. Get off my case. Or 20 years, whatever.
Yeah.
Those were god-awful chair shots. I'm glad Randy got his second opportunity to wrestle for a while because he had so much stuff in the tank left.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, his match with Hogan at Halloween Havoc was awful, but his overall character presentation had so much left. His stuff with Dallas was amazing.
Yeah. And he won the world title from Nash to lose it to Hogan.
Yeah. They can't all be winners. Yeah, but we've mentioned this, I think, on this show, but I definitely mentioned it for sure on shows. Savage can thank Hogan and Flair for every title loss of his.
Yep.
Every single one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not bad company to sit in, honestly.
So So Flair and Hogan beat Savage for every title.
Right, because Savage won the tournament and lost to Hogan.
Yeah.
Beat Flair, lost to Flair.
Back to Flair.
Won World War III, lost to Flair. Regained it from Flair, lost to Flair. Beat Sting at Spring Stampede thanks to Kevin Nash, lost to Hogan. Beat Kevin Nash at the beach the following year, lost to Hogan. Yeah. So he beat the Elite because he beat Sting, Nash, Hogan, and Flair, and DiBiase in the tournament final, and lost to Hogan and Flair. So again,
Did Savage ever beat Hogan?
I don't think so. I have to go back and look. If I find the match, we'll watch it. Because it's rare. I'm trying to think. God, that's a good question. I know he beat him by count out in DQ in the 80s when he was the Intercontinental Champion. But I don't think he beat him one-on-one straight up in a televised match. Yeah, see, Savage is wearing clothes that are really, really posable, posing material. You can see the bicep a little bit, but You a fan of the cowboy hat gimmick on Savage or no? Oh, he's checking stats, folks. Again, people were wondering all night if they were going to see Savage shake his hand. Savage's history with Hogan is so complicated. It's just so funny too. They shook hands here, and within a year they were beefing but not fighting over the championship because Hogan got screwed out of the title, and then then in '96 and shit at the fan.
This is a long celebration.
Yes, and I think we can. Let's see. If you guys are at 2:35:38, you can go ahead and cut it off by all means. They're going to show the replay now anyway. So, and they're going to go to the back. They're going to have an interview with Hulk. Vader's going to break down the door and challenge him. Vader had won the U.S. Championship that night, by the way, from Duggan, and he was the number one contender. So there you go. So there it was, folks. Again, the only time you'll see Ed Leslie in a pay-per-view marquee main event.
All right.
Now, I will say, they did technically main event the Chicago portion of WrestleMania 2. He and Valentine against the Bulldogs. So, but that wasn't the last match of the night. So, Next week, the calendar's on this thing, so I don't have it in front of me. But I think we're going to actually watch something decent next week. So we'll get back to fun. I don't know who's going to be on tomorrow, but I highly recommend watching the NoDQ review tomorrow because that's always a fun time with live mics on those crazy people. Friday will be Talk Wrestling. Probably just do Ask Me Anything. I may go live. I don't know yet. I was talking with Greg earlier when we did the Undertaker show yesterday before we taped. I was like, I think I'm just going to tape stuff going forward because it's easier for me to edit in here than try to fuck with it while I'm on the air. So I don't know yet. I like the feel of I'm live, but it also I get, I don't know.
I get it.
All right, Teespring, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Greg Cherry brand.
Yep.
Buy everything.
Buy all shirts.
Buy all shirts. So yes.
Also, Wrestling Trivia Challenge. The next episode coming not this week. It's every 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah, it's every 2 weeks. I should put that in the banner because that's the only content I'm posting on the YouTube channel right now.
Right, yeah. And by the way, I have lined up a professional scorekeeper.
Good. Professional scorekeeper that knows how to count to 10. Yay!
That's right. Yay! So it's definitely not a WWF referee. But like we said, when we did the premiere, when we did Talk Wrestling last week, there was no chance. He was too far behind. So
yeah.
I looked at my notes after I'm like, how did I just botched it. It was what it was. So But that'll be next week. And then Monday we'll be back with Meach's Musings, and we'll go from there for the week. Next week's Undertaker match, I believe, is the start of the streak. So we'll get into that, and we'll see just who's sitting next to me on the screen. But for now, for Greg Cherry, I am Jeff Meacham saying we'll see you next week right here on Wrestling Rewind. Magdalin.